Hey, Scott Beckford here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you time management strategies that has helped me as a guy with ADD who struggles with focus. This has been extremely helpful for me, especially as I've had multiple businesses going on, and it's made me more productive. And so hopefully you find it useful for you. This comes from our Rookie to Rockstar program that we have as one of the videos that trainings that we do with new people, because, hey, it's one thing to learn how to go find business and convert it and fund it, but if you can't get time management down, you're going to really struggle. So check this out. And if you want to find out more about a Rookie to Rockstar program, go to rookie2rockstar.ca. We have a webinar there. Check it out. And I will see you on the next video. Hey, welcome to Time Management for Mortgage Brokers. And the thing about time management is it shouldn't take a lot of time. Otherwise, it doesn't feel like time management. So I'm going to share with you some insights on how to become more effective with your time, because you're going to need it as you start to grow your business and even to get the most out of this next 100 days. So let me tell you a quick story about one of my clients. Ian Lee is a mortgage broker, loan officer, actually based out of Colorado Springs. Awesome dude. He's an entrepreneur. Had you can listen to a podcast I did with him if you want to go check that out. But so before he became a loan officer, he had opened a gin distillery and was selling gin and got that business up and running. And now he spends a couple hours a week at it, and it runs, and it's got lots of employees, and it's going fantastic. But his passion was always to be in a loan officer. And so he came into our program as a established entrepreneur, but a brand new loan officer. In his first 6 months, he'd done 5 mortgages, and then he came, joined, started working with us, got really focused on his business, and did 65 in the next 6 months, and has since been flying flat out. And one of the things that I loved about what Ian did, and I think that this is the point of this whole story, is that every morning, and he's got 2 kids and multiple businesses and a busy guy, brand new, he carved out time every morning to work on his business. And so he set up his morning routine, and then he would spend some time going through his training. So whether he was going through the stuff that we were doing with him on business development, finding business, realtors, all that good stuff, or he was going through his learning some underwriting. And so as you'll notice throughout this program, we've kind of mirrored that in that, but we've front end loaded it. So you're going to spend more time in the first bit on find and convert, because there's no point in trying to learn how to underwrite a file to a really deep degree until you actually have files, and we're going to show you how to get them. And so that's kind of how that works. So the takeaway I want you to take from this with Ian is that he had it in his calendar every single day. He was going to spend time working on his business, and I'm convinced that was one of the reasons he had such amazing success. So I'm going to share with you how I run multiple companies. So I have 3 companies that I'm very intimately close to. I've got the training academy. I have a brokerage, which I run with you guys. And then my wife has a sourdough business, which does quite well. Mid 6-figure business. It's not 7-figure, but it's a very good business, and I help with that as well. So how do I do all this? Plus I have 3 kids, plus is I've got very clear on a couple things, and I have ADD, so I've been all over the flipping place until the last few years in particular. I've gotten very focused, and so I'll just walk you through this. Now, some of it I'm not going to teach you today, and I don't think it matters yet. But at some point, if you're working in the academy with us, we'll help you with that. So the first thing I have is I have a 25-year vision. So my goal, and I never, and I didn't have when I was 19, I didn't have a 25-minute vision, let alone 25 years. So it sounds insane. It may sound crazy to you. I'm not suggesting that you need this. I wouldn't even waste time on it at this point. But the way my brain works now is that, hey, I love the training business. I love coaching. I will be doing this for the next 25 years, provided some event doesn't, take me out. And my whole goal over the next 100 quarters is to continue to improve 1% a quarter. That's it. 1% a quarter. I've got this grand vision. And when I look at, the reason I don't pay attention to competitions, because I'm like, they're not going to be here. Like, I'm like, good for you. You got something you're doing. Let's see where you are in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10, because I'm not going anywhere. Right. So because I have this long-term perspective, it makes it really like not that like we're playing different games. So I can afford to take my time. The second thing I have is an airport test. So I have a 3-year plan, which is something that we talked to you guys about in yesterday's training in terms of getting that 3-year, where do you want to be? And that's a great place to start. You don't need to have a 25-year vision. Then you got your top 10 goals. And I do this every day, by the way. This is part of my morning routine: 25-year vision, airport test, top 10 goals. And then what I do is quarterly, I always think about I break each quarter down and I go, what are the top 5 things that if I could get these things done in the next quarter would move the business ahead by 1%. Remember I said 1% times 100 quarters, and that's it. And then when I look at my plan, my week rather, I'm making sure that I fit some of those things in so that I keep moving the needle. And that's it. So you basically start very broad and you just get narrower and narrower down. And I know, and then every day, as I'll show you, I actually review my 25-year vision. I literally read it every single day, 7 days a week. And then you have a daily, I call it game day. You have a game plan. But the only ones you really need to worry about right now, so don't worry about these other two. You just need to worry about the airport test, which you've got 10. And then today I'm going to show you about how to create a game day daily plan, which I absolutely love. So I'm gonna come back to that in a second. So actually, no, I will show you this. So let me give you a quick demo of how my calendar set up. I just put in some. So essentially, I use Evernote. You can do anything you want with this, but this is how I do it. And so my pregame routine. So I break my day into quarters, and I think of it like a football game. You got pregame, you got each quarter, and then you got postgame. And so my pregame is my morning routine. And I will talk more about that in a second. And so I have these things. I do my meditation, my authentic man. So I got a bunch of things that I read, statements that I think what it means to be an authentic man. I got my review, my 25-year vision. I got first principles, which is this thing that as I started learning these different insights, that I'm like, hey, I don't want to forget that. Like one of my first principles is I'm a creator, not a consumer. So I'm not going to sit on TikTok and consume videos. If I'm going to be on a platform, I'm going to create things. Airport test is another one, right? So 3 years, 10 years. And then right now, actually, as I'm recording this, my daughter, who's also my one daughter, my other two kids don't have this. My one daughter has ADD. And so and when you have ADD, you need structure. The number one thing that you need to have if you have that in all tendency, the more structure you have, the more success you'll have. So I'm trying to help her build a morning routine. And right now, because this is new, she's 12, is literally, it's just make your bed and send me a picture. I'm not even getting into any of the other stuff yet because I'm like, we got to build that one habit before I can even bother with trying to add the other ones. And so I just starting small with her. So I go through this. Then I got my big project. Remember, I talked about my 5. So I'm working on this 100-day challenge, get those recorded, plan for the live event. And then often if I have some time, my pregame, I'll be going through some training, right? Quarter 1, so 8 to 11, my top 3. And so what I'll do is I'll look at my calendar for the day and I'll be like, okay, what things do I have a meeting booked? Do I have to meet a client? Do I have a realtor presentation? Whatever that looks like for you, you're going to be like, okay, 8 to 11, that's the first quarter. Second quarter, right? Third quarter. And then what I do is at the bottom, I just have a list. I keep a running list of tasks, of things that I would like to get done this week, but I don't prioritize them. My priority is just win each quarter. Now, here's the thing. You're not going to win every quarter. You're going to have quarters where you're like, oh my gosh, something's going to happen. You're going to have a file blow up, go sideways. And you're like, oh my, what happened to this thing? And don't worry about it. You just reset and go, okay, next quarter. And your whole day is not shot. And just like in sports, good sports teams, they don't go out and, oh my gosh, it was a bad quarter or we're screwed. They're like, no, okay, reset, let's do it. And this whole concept actually came from one of our coaches, Lori Snowden. And she told me this and I was like, Lori, this is genius. I love breaking I call it game day. I love breaking my time into this. It's been very helpful for me. And so basically what I do is I break my day into the quarters. And then I just have my top 3 tasks for each quarter. And then I have a pregame routine, right? So that's it. It's like, okay, each day I'm going to break 8 to 11. I'll show you the time slots here. You can use different time slots, but I have found that this gives me buckets. And when you shrink the time slot, you can actually more accurately predict how long things will take. When you have 8 hours, you can be like, oh, that's only going to take whatever. And then you ever had this happen? You're on a Saturday, you plan to do a whole bunch of things and you realize the end of the day goes by and you're like, wow, I only got like 2 things done. And it's because you didn't actually try to break the day into, smaller chunks and realize how much time they were going to take. And I actually do this on the weekends too. So on the weekends, I'm like, it could be on a Saturday, I'm like, hey, I'm going to wash one of the cars. I'm going to, rake leaves or whatever's going on. In the morning, I'll plan out my entire day. So in the morning in that pregame routine, I'm actually planning out, this entire thing is mapped out. I look at the calendar, I go through do all these things first, don't do anything, don't touch email, don't touch, no distractions, go through my morning routine, get my mindset dialed in. Then I plan out my day, I go through and put in all my tasks. I've got calls, whatever's going on. And then I go, okay, if I got some extra time, great. I'm going to do what's my pregame routine today that I'm going to work on. And that's it. And I'm telling you, out of all of the time management tools and strategies, this has been the absolute game changer for me. It's been amazing. And it's how I can run multiple businesses and still currently anyways have my hair. So the way I structure it is 6 to 8 a.m. is your pregame, 8 to 11. It's going to be different for you. And if I'll go back to this for a second, but you'll notice like some of my stuff is like pick up my kids, right? So I understand that in the evening. So this is one of the other insights I had is that I would do really well at work and then I'd come home in the evening and I just unravel, be like, oh, and I was like losing the fourth quarter always, just like the Atlanta Falcons. Hopefully you're not a fan of those guys, but, and so by planning it out, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to Muay Thai. I'm going to go to Costco. I'm going to look at my son's homework or whatever. That's all part of it. Like that's life, right? And you do this, you'll be way more on top of your life and your business. And then after 8, whatever you want to do, it's kind of like post game, man. You can sit around and watch a movie, have a glass of wine, whatever kind of works for you. But I have this very structured. This structure has been incredibly effective for me as a guy who does not who resists structure as a general rule. So 3 tasks per quarter. I like this because it makes it winnable, easy to reset. As I said, if you lose a quarter, shrinks the day into smaller, manageable chunks. The pregame routine for me, this is some things to think about. Everybody's going to be different for your pregame. Your mindset is mindset routine. You got to, what is that going to look like every day? Movement or exercise could just be a walk, whatever, and then learn something. If you did that every single day for the next 5-10 years, you would not even look like the same person. You'd be like, who are you? Like, it's like the future calls and it's like, I don't even know who this person is, because the version of yourself that you're capable of, you don't even know it's possible, but you put this kind of time and you lay down this foundation and you will be shocked at what happens. So how do you determine your top 3 for each day? This is what I do. I look at my calendar. So if it's a call, if we've got a training call booked, well, that's going in there because I ain't getting out of that, right? So it's got to be done. I keep a list of activities at the bottom. And then, for you guys, review the daily video that we send. So one of the things that I put this on here intentionally is like, we're going to send you a daily video that should be part of your morning routine. I'm gonna look at the daily, especially for this 100 days. What am I supposed to get done today? Great. Plan it out. Boom. I got my day planned out. I know I'm going to look at the training today, and then off to the races that you go. So that's it. So here's a couple things you may be thinking. So what if I can't get my top 3 done? That happens. You just do the best you can. And if you have to move something around, sometimes you can do that. Sometimes you can wait till tomorrow. And if you get them all done, so let's say you crush it, you're like, I'm a rock star today, I've crushed them all, then just go down to your list at the bottom, pull one up. Or you could even, if it's something that could be done, like if you can't move a meeting up from like 11, if you finish something between 8 and 11, you're like, wow, I can do that meeting at 1, I can do now. You can't do that, but there's some tasks you can't actually move. So move those tasks. So as a quick recap, this is going to be the most effective way that you manage your whole business going forward. Break your day into quarters, pre-game, post-game, have a pre-game, absolutely have a mindset routine, break it into quarters, determine a top 3 for each quarter, and keep a list of tasks and have fun with this. Like, look, you don't stress yourself out, do the best you can. I'd never win. I don't think I've yet won all, top 3 for all 4 quarters. So it's 12. I've never done it. Like I've got close, but because life happens. That's okay. Somebody's going to call from school. Your kid needs to get picked up. Whatever's going to happen, that's totally fine. Give yourself a little bit of grace on that and just reset. And what you're going to find though is you're going to win more than you lose. You're going to be like, I win 65, 70% of the time. You're still winning, because most people are just showing up every day and reacting, and they don't have a hot clue what their day is supposed to look like. So looking forward to check out the next video. And this one should help you in terms of getting your time management under control.